Welcome. This is Melinda Barlow, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to my channel. You know, I never said that, and I really appreciate all of you who follow me on YouTube. Today we are doing something different. I've been doing a lot out of the Tangle a Day calendar and my little book, Tangle, Relax, and Ponder. But today I thought I'd do just from a template. And it has several tangles in it. And so you could use these in your Tangle a Day calendar. I've done Blessed Are the Pure in Heart and also Believe with All Your Heart. That's another one, and I'm not sure what tangle I'm going to do, but I'm going to use my template that is Blessed Are the Pure in Heart. And you can see that there is a printed heart on here just to kind of give you some place to go, because sometimes you just don't want to draw a heart, you know. You're not sure you can draw one correctly or the right size or whatever. I'm looking for you'd think I'd have a pencil right here that had a good lead on it. I don't see one, but anyway, I've got one that's fairly good. It's one I used to hand out at the library, and it's a dollar bill, I think. Yeah, it's a dollar bill pencil. So today we're just going to put some a string down in our heart, but we're just going to string it off. And I don't know if you can see. I'm going to come in a little closer. And then you can see, yeah, you can see that. I'm just going to just kind of divide it off. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to use probably 5 different tangle patterns. And this time I have them written down so I know what ones I'm going to do. The first one we're going to do is, because it's Valentine's and I love this particular little tangle, it's called Lava. LUV-A by Sharon Crawford, and it is an adorable tangle. I use it a lot during January, February because, well, anyway, it's a great little filler tangle no matter how you look at it. And I'm going to do it in this area and then probably down here in this area. So we just start with a heart shape. So just draw yourself a little heart shape, and then you're going to draw another heart shape. And you notice I went, if we were really close, which I should be, I went over the line, and I'm just going to draw a few of these little heart shapes, and I'm just going to go, and you kind of see how they connect to each other, but they're not really perfect little hearts. They are just hearts. Just, you gotta love it. I love it. I'm sorry, that was, but it, so I just nestle them into each other, and this time I try to go both directions. It helps my eye-hand coordination, so sometimes I make the hearts going, you know, towards the right, and sometimes I make them going towards the left. It just is good for my eye-hand coordination. And I'm just filling up this space with these adorable little hearts. And trying to nestle them in as close as I can. There's going to be a few that are going to be have some space within them. And I kind of, you can even do them like they were going up a little stem. You can see how I'm just moving them right up the little stem. Just filling in this space with little hearts. So I basically have it pretty much filled in, and I'm going to come back and just do a few little strokes in the bottom of my little heart. Just a takeoff type stroke, meaning as I lift my pen as I come to the end. So it's like taking off. It's just going to take off. I think Rick was the one who first mentioned that kind of a stroke. I think Maria does it, but just to say how you get that, it kind of feathers out at the end, and so you want to lift your pen as you do it. Now this is fun to just add a little fescue or bead line. I'm going to add a little bead line in here. Just a little bit of fescue coming out just to give it a little bit more life. And bead line, they have just the little dots going up. And there we have lava. Isn't that fun? I don't know, this almost looks out of place because I think I'm going to just add a few more right there to kind of connect it down. So now the next tangle that we have that we're going to do is I like Shattuck. I like how it has it just has some movement to it and the ability to really, give you something different. But this time I am going to just give it a little different look to it. So I'm going to bring my line up with my pen, and I'm going to aura that, and I'm going to make a very large Shattuck. So I'm going to come like this, and then I'm going to come and make my spaces fairly large. Then it's going to go from the other direction, and then going this direction. Normally we don't see Shattuck done this large, but just give me a little bit of, I think I can do that one all the way there. So there we have Shattuck in a very, very large mode. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to aura this and then fill in this very first one with orbs. We are going to just kind of do that with each one of our little Shattucks. This is how you can take a tangle that you use all the time and just change it up a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to aura this one, and I'm going to do a zigzag line. And then aura each one of those little zigzags. Simple. aura here, and then put a zigzag line in there, and then just aura each one of these so they have that kind of just repeated look. Zigzag, and then I'm just going to aura that little space. Oh, that was a little big. And aura that space. And now the next one, I am going to, I'm going to aura these off every time just to give a little bit of a division between. So I kind of divided it off into squares, and I'm going to do Knight's Bridge. I'm going to rotate this just a little bit so I can not have that problem of having a wild looking line. Just about making a mistake. There's no mistake in Zentangle, so we would have to figure out what I was going to do with it, but I got it. So now we're going to come and do this next one. And if you haven't done Knight's Bridge, you want to make sure that you do it in order. Meaning I start here and then here, because this is a simple little Knight's Bridge. But sometimes they can get very complicated. And so you don't want to have it in, you just want to make sure you do them in order. And I love the drama that a Knight's Bridge does on a tangle because of its dark and light. Okay, I have one more here, and up here I have several more that I'm going to do. The next one I'm going to do is I'm just going to aura this off, divide this off, and I'm going to put circles again, but a line of circles. And the reason I aura it off was because it just helps me make a more even circle. And I'm going to rotate that again. And I have one more here. And I have a couple more spaces here, so I'm going to just do some diagonal lines. And I'm not really sure what this tangle is called, but I use it on a regular basis when I need to fill in something. Just some diagonal lines, it just helps. And then I'm going to finish this off up here with just a bunch of circles. And there we have, look how beautiful that looks. It just has, for just Chautauqua, it really has a beautiful look. Let me come out a little bit so you can see. Okay, our next tangle, we're going to do a flux. I really like flux, and it fills up a page, and I am in love with Rick's version of flux. So we're going to do Rick's version of flux. I like that shape. And I'm just going to work a whole bunch of flux going in here. And you can make that flux go different directions so that it fills up to give yourself a just a different look, different sizes. Just for fun, can you guess what I'm going to do next? On this flux, I'm going to fill in these spaces with orbs. So anywhere there is a space, it's going to get an orb, or 3. And those who have followed me very much really understand how much I love orbs. I think they go in just about anything I do. I will put orbs or fescue. Okay, we're going to come back here in this flux and we're going to do another takeoff. And you can see how that really helps emphasize that little curve in there. But there we have flux. Wait till we shade this. It is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Okay, our next tangle, I decided I wanted to do something that was just a little bit easier, but the space is really quite large for me. Oh, I'm going to put some orbs right there. So I'm going to aura this right up along there, and I'm going to fill it in with some orbs, and then I'm going to aura it again so I have a little bit of a space in between, and my aura kind of went a little crookedy. So now I'm going to do one that I think works really well in a big space, and that is twing. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to put a zigzag line. It goes right up to the line and then back down to that pencil line. So I've done a zigzag line all the way across. Now we come back, and I'm going to aura that, and I'm going to come down below that zigzag line, that pencil line, because I want my line to be continuous. And now we have our zigzag line that's auraed. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to make what I call a telephone line, where it's on top of the pole and then it kind of dips down in and sags. They kind of sag from pole to pole. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to sag down from pole to pole. We're just going to have to guess about where they are. And now we're going to come back and I'm going to mimic, I'm going to aura. I think that's the best thing to do next, is to aura that line. And there we have it. Or now I'm going to come in and I'm looking at how this sags. I'm going to put one that sags that shape and aura it. Now look at this one. It's going to go the opposite direction. And they're just going to go back and forth, going in the direction of the one that's in that same box, in that same triangle. And you see I want them to kind of connect together. And I have a little boo-boo right there, but no one's going to really know. There we have it, filled, almost ready to fill. And I am going to just put some diagonal lines in that mimic how that V would have gone. So here we're going to go the same direction as the V, but then I start to straighten up and get so that it kind of keeps in that shape. So right in the center, it's standing up straight, and then it tilts again. So it tilts, standing up straight, and then tilting. I imagine you could use something else in there instead of just putting lines. I'm going to leave this because I'm going to come back and use some shading to fill in the rest of that. Now I've got this last little space, and because I like to balance things out, I'm going to put lava in this last little space. It changes them from a bunch of little hearts to maybe some kind of a little flower bud. And I've got a few little spaces that I'm just going to put some orbs. And there we have our heart all done but the shading. And now we are going to I am going to put a ribbon up here at the top. And I could put a muka. If you like muka, you could put muka, but I'm just going to put a ribbon. So we're going to just start with a loop, and then we're going to come up, and the loop is going to cross. It kind of auras, but yet it crosses. So we'll do that again. This is a loop, come in, and then the next time I'm going to aura the shape of the loop, cross over, and come back down. And you can see it ends up to have a little ribbon effect. Can you see? Oh, sorry, I forgot I was out, so let me do that one again. So I'm gonna come over and do one from this side. Holly bot under, then come back on itself, cross over, and come back down. And it just gives it just looks like you've got a little ribbon in there that you're putting. So we'll put another tie so you can see it. Holly bot under, and you can cross twice to give that ribbon a real bend. But isn't that just fun? I think it needs balanced out. One more over here to just kind of balance it a little bit, and maybe even another loop. Coming up. But there we have our heart. Now I'm going to take, either you can take it, you can shade with black, your graphite, or you can shade with a color pencil. I'm using a red color pencil, and I've got to sharpen it. It wasn't quite sharp enough, so I'm sharpening it. And I always sharpen my color pencils with a handheld sharpener. So this is just a Prismacolor pencil, and so I'm just going to start by maybe coloring in my ribbon, and where it's folded, that'll be the other side, so I'm not going to color that. So you can see how you color that ribbon. So with the lava, I can come in here and I can do a little bit of color down in the bottom of those little hearts, just to give this a little bit of red color. And I can do the same over here. And since this is Prismacolor pencil, I'm going to blend it with a odorless paint thinner. So I'm just going to give it a little bit, and then I will be able to blend a lot with my shading stump. So we just give it a little in there. When I start to shade, I should have come in. I'll have some room to shade it. Now I'm just going to, on my, what was this one called? Gosh, guys. Twing, I think. No, I did a shattuck, and with a little different twist on it. And I'm just going to put my shading along those lines that I auraed. So I put a little color in here. And since I didn't aura up here, I'll just put a little color there. And now I'm just going to put some color in my hear me flipping in my flux. I don't know if it's old age or what that's making me forget the names of tangles. But I've forgotten them. I haven't remembered them for a long time. So, you know, what can we say? And I am just going to give this a little color in here, since I left that. And I'm going to blend that out. And I'm going to give this a little color in here. I should have gone on both sides. Okay, now we're ready to take a shading stump, and we really need to have one that's clean, a clean shading stump. And then I'm going to take my little paint thinner pot, and it is odorless paint thinner. You don't have to have a paint thinner pot, but it just helps me not spill this, and I don't get too much. Matter of fact, this is getting a little dry, so I might have to, but I can blend here, but I can blend these, and really get, you know, blend that out. And I did have a question about putting them in your Tangle a Day book and using paint thinner. Does it go through the pages? No, the pages are nice and thick, and I don't put a lot of paint thinner on. As you can see, I have paint thinner on, but I was able to go through and blend a lot. And I'm going to moisten it again, and I'm going to blend my my flux, so that they are all, I just blend it up and they go a little pink. It's a light pink, it's kind of dark, it just variegates that color. And you can see I'm doing the whole thing without having to re-moisten my shading stump. That's why I like the shading stumps, is because they really hold that paint thinner. Getting that same look here. Still without dipping again. And now I need to dip. I can kind of start to tell when I need to moisten that you know, moisten my shading stump. And I'm just going to just kind of really just round about and get this, just blend these with a semi-dry shading stump. Oh, I have a little space there that I should have put lines, and I didn't. So let's go in and put some lines there. And I could shade some more on my heart, but I'm going to take a cool gray pencil instead of graphite, and I'm just going to add some gray in here. And I can even add a touch of gray in here on some of those, and then I can blend it. And I did not clean my shading stump. I just left that pink in there to give that gray and, you know, just a little tinge of, but it just needed a little bit more. You could use your pencil to do that, and I could also add a little gray to my ribbon so that it is the flip side of my ribbon. Oh, my, excuse me, my tutorial is getting really long. It's almost 40 minutes. But there you go. And I'll need to finish coloring and add a little bit more to this, but you know, sometimes you just don't know when to stop. And another thing, I'll just add, sometimes I will add ribbons so they come out of my twang. I think that's what that's called. Yes, twing. And so sometimes you can just add a ribbon so it comes out of your twing. See how fun that can be? Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And you never know when you're going to get a bonus video. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.